This video was sponsored by NordVPN, a virtual private network service that provides much needed security in an age where cybersecurity is more important than ever. In 2010, the world changed forever. An Iranian nuclear enrichment facility was infected by a virus, a weaponized virus designed to specifically search for and sabotage this little box. It's called a PLC, a tiny computer that can control the regulation of, say, transportation lines, power grids, dams, and in this case, centrifuges, a coil that spins to enrich uranium. The virus manipulated the PLCs to spin faster than usual, causing over 1,000 to be destroyed, setting back Iran's nuclear program in the process. This was a code too complicated for just a single hacker to make. This was a code that could only be made by another country, who didn't want to see Iran get a bomb. It was the first ever use of cyber warfare. This isn't about stealing information. It's hacking to purposely sabotage another country's economy or infrastructure. A new kind of combat that focuses on computers to cause real-world implications. As we saw with Iran, and we continue to see with attacks on Ukraine, hacks from China, and even against Sony, foreign nations are now fighting a new kind of skirmish. So a scary possibility has arose. What if a cyber attack, or a cyber war between two nations actually occurred? Let's imagine a scenario, really the worst case scenario. A cyber attack can range from just bringing a website down to bringing a whole city down. Really, the size of one depends on the resources of the nation that is conducting it. So, let's go big with this idea. Really anything can be manipulated in an attack. So I'm going to take some liberties in this scenario, but everything that will be affected is very much at threat to cyber warfare. So let's begin. Remember the coils in Iran? How a piece of malware was able to manipulate the coils into spinning so fast they eventually failed? That same concept can be easily applied to generators, the ones that power electrical grids. In an experiment conducted by Homeland Security, a test generator was connected to a power grid. From there, simply by sending malware designed to manipulate the generator, the virus spun up the generator so fast that in a minute it exploded. In this scenario, that type of attack happens. Numerous generators across the East Coast are hacked and explode, power across half of the country instantly goes out, and it will most likely be out for weeks or months. Without power, normal business and communications shut down. The economy simply plummets. There was civil unrest when New York had a blackout for a single night in the 70s. Imagine the level of destruction and chaos caused when there is no power for months. Simply from one virus. The normal life for half the country comes to a halt. But let's go farther. In 2016, Iranian hackers were able to attack a New York dam, attempting to manipulate it to open up. Of course, that didn't happen, mostly because of one manual lock to do so, but it still shows the possibilities that dams can be turned as weapons in themselves. Now, will that actually be the main target? If we really want to be grandiose about this scenario, really any systems could be targeted in later attacks. Railways could come to a halt. Communications could be disrupted, including that of the United States military, but I don't want to go that far into it. The one that I think is the most realistic of all of these possibilities is banking systems. Private banks have been hacked before by foreign governments. In those cases, it was just websites, but Homeland Security says that it can go farther than that. Cyber attacks could simply shut down transactions, stopping people from getting money from their own bank. Really, this is a hard scenario to predict. This is such a brand new concept that we're just started thinking about. Using the internet to sabotage other nations is here. China has become synonymous with hacking, attempting to disrupt other nations' private businesses. And Russia, well, they have become one of the main powers in this new realm. Since their war began with Ukraine, the Russians have launched numerous cyber attacks. In 2017, one attack on Ukraine affected banking systems, the government itself, and even trains. Files simply corrupted and were destroyed in a matter of minutes. Cyber warfare is becoming an increasingly relevant thing in our lives. It probably won't be used to shut down entire grids or blow up dams, but it's being used by all countries, especially the United States, to further their own policies against enemy countries. The American response to such a threat hasn't really been one of defense. It's been creating more malicious viruses than their enemy. That sure does sound familiar. Right now, most American infrastructure simply does not have the defenses against an attack. It's such a new concept, it seems crazy that this can even happen from a computer, but it can. If the scenario I just described really did happen, half of the United States lost power because of a foreign government, that would be the first phase of an actual conventional war. We know the devastating effects of wars and nukes, but something from a hacking still seems less severe to us. Powers seem more lenient to commit acts without fear of retribution, and the scary part is, it could easily escalate into something far bigger, if one attack simply goes too far. Cybersecurity is something we all feel we have a grasp on, but we don't know how easy our information and lives can be changed by hackers with malicious intent. That's why this video was sponsored by NordVPN. A VPN is a virtual private network. Basically, what NordVPN does is it secures your information through it whenever you're online. By accessing a private network with military-grade encryption, you can protect yourself. They have thousands of servers from over 60 countries that you can access, and with a simple interface, it's easy to set up. Say I want to have a new address from Britain. Well, I can do that. Or India. NordVPN allows you to do that. And it works on any iOS or Android phones, and Windows or Mac computers. It really is another level of defense, and if you want to just try it out, you can try it for 30 days absolutely free. Start protecting your internet experience today with 77% off a 3-year plan by using the code ALTHIST at nordvpn.com/althist. The offering is ending soon, so be sure to not miss out on the opportunity. To be honest, I never considered using something like this until hearing about how important security on the internet truly is. After researching this video, I know I can't do much about the safety of the energy grid, but at least you can protect yourself. So I recommend if you just want to stay safe online, this is a good option to have. Just click the link down below in the description or the pinned comment using the code ALTHIST at nordvpn.com/althist. This is Cody of Alternate History Hub.